Do you remember the horrifically received Walt Disney animatronic at Disneyland? The thing that looks more like Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy? The thing that's been laughed at, memed at, and mocked to the sky online? Well, Disney's proud of it apparently. They're bringing you another one. It's a double dose of the Walt bot, and it's coming to Walt Disney World this time. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, but today, folks, we've got a video on the way and we're happy to bring it to you. We're talking about another Walt animatronic. It's creepy, it's terrible. The influencers are so excited. It's the same story all over again. Deja vu, hey, don't I know you? Well, click the like button and let's talk about Disney. Very proud of another Mike Lindell, My Pillow guy, this time coming to the Carousel of Progress at Disney World. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Out of Disney parks, a great, big, beautiful tomorrow awaits the Carousel of Progress. A look at updates coming to the attraction. What's that, you say? Well, that, my friends, is another Walt bot. That's right, after Disney came out with a meme-worthy display, a robot that looked like Mike Lindell of the My Pillow fame, Disney's not done. Apparently, they had 2 of these things made, and they're on the way. Now, the influencers are fawning all over themselves, hoping that people will not be yawning at the announcement. They're so excited, Vash. People are just, the influencers that got invited to this, they're just so excited. They can't believe themselves. Folks, I just want to remind you of what it is they're telling you they're bringing to Disney World. And I've already played this game once. I've already seen everybody get excited about a Walt animatronic. I've already done the controversy. This is what they did to Disneyland.
You know, I was stumped one day when the little boy asked, "Do you draw Mickey Mouse?"
No! It can't be! What is it? It can't be! What did you do, Ray?
And I had to admit I do not draw anymore.
No more!
Well, then you think up all the jokes and ideas. No, I said I don't do that. Finally, he looked at me and said, "Mr. Disney, just what do you do?" Well, I said, sometimes I think of myself as a little bee.
So they're going to do it again.
Could I point out a few things about that picture that come to mind?
Please.
Go back to that shot of Walt with his... First of all, we have the Tower of the Four Winds, which they dumped in the bay in New York after the paper. Then we have the Blaine Gibson Lincoln, which, of course, Walt is replacing in Disneyland to some degree. And then we have the Epcot that never was because they wouldn't do it. But aside from that, by golly, it's exciting. I mean, they had choices here, and what did they choose?
Well, here's the other amazing thing about this, okay? So they're saying they're going to replace, there's the load and unload scene, right? And it's just a backdrop with lighting. And that's what they're saying they're going to replace and put the Walt animatronic in there. And everybody thinks, well, it's going to look just like this. Well, I'm sorry, we saw this before, and it doesn't look just like Walt. So until they prove to me that they can do what they say they're going to do, I'm not buying into it. But here's the thing. At Disneyland, if the Walt animatronic fails, and it has, the lights go dim real quick, and it locks into place. It's still creepy, but at least they have a system. At Carousel of Progress, I don't think they can do anything. So if it breaks, TPM Vids is going to have, Walt slowly like crashing down on the floor or something. It's going to be terrible. Ron, what are your thoughts on Disney doubling down? I said, you really got to give it to them. They got mocked, they got roasted, and then they came out and got on stage and they told you about how amazing they are for doing it all over again.
It's all I can think of is the time that I went to Carousel Progress and this gentleman, what's his name? His hand was off. Like, and
poor John. Poor John's hand fell off.
And I'm like, please don't let that happen to Uncle Walt. I don't.
Ron, can I tell you that one time I told a cast member that I forget which John was shaking. It was a hydraulic issue, but John was shaking. Yeah, he was doing, and I told the cast member, and they said, "It'll be all right." So if Walt has a seizure, it'll be all right. That's where we're at right now.
Well, I mean, his granddaughter, when she saw the animatronic that they put in Disneyland, she literally cried, so heartbroken that they did this to her grandpa. And it was nothing that he ever wanted. And, you know, I was talking about this earlier today, and I was thinking, you know, I'm none of the Imagineers for generations would ever have done this, because they were all, you know, they were either Imagineers that Walt had hired, were trained by those Imagineers or whatever. This means that Imagineering is cleared out of those people. We have a new crop of Imagineers, and they don't have the spirit of Walt. You know, they're doing this because they don't have that. They don't know really what the magic of Walt Disney is, and so they think by doing this they're kind of grasping at it, but this is grasping at straws, because the really good ones left and went over to Universal, or just left the company in general. So
now,
I don't know.
I'll say this, Ron, okay? I'm going to leave the door open. There's like a 10% chance they actually get this one right. And they don't just say, well, we'll use that old Hillary Clinton mask for this guy. Okay, there's a chance. I'm gonna leave the door open to that. So there's a chance that this improves the Carousel of Progress. There's a chance. But I am not going to, as my automatic response, be like, go Disney, go, you're back, you've really done it. No, I'm not doing that. Here's the statement from them, and I'll tell you this. I have compared this, you know, in terms of them screwing up so badly with the first one and then immediately announcing another one. You know, it's like OJ buying a second Bronco. Here's the quote. It says, "We are grateful to the Walt Disney Company and the Walt Disney Imagineering for their continued collaboration and ongoing partnership with the Walt Disney Family Museum." Now, why are they doing that? They're doing that because they know that we'll say that they made the family weep. So they're going to cite the Family Museum. I don't know what it has to do with the robot. The introduction of a new audio animatronics figure of Walt Disney and Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress marks an exciting milestone in our shared mission to celebrate the story of the man behind the magic and inspire new generations with his innovations and vision for the future. We appreciate the continued efforts and meticulous care. Why did they say meticulous care? Because they know that last thing scared the hebetus jeebitus out of you, so they got to fix this. So they're going to tell you it's meticulous care that Imagineering has taken to keep Walt's legacy alive. Why? Because if it comes out and looks like My Pillow guy again, they're going to get the same backlash. They don't care, though. They don't care. And I'll tell you how I know they don't care, guys. And you tell me if I'm wrong about this. If they cared one iota at this D23, they would have announced a new mask for the Walt at Disneyland to fix it. They didn't do that. They don't care. So whatever this is going to look like, you can't convince me that they care about it, because they still got Mike Lindell hawking Disneyland stuff over on Main Street there.
But what they care about is never admitting a mistake.
Yes.
And to say they were going to fix it means there was something to fix, means they made a mistake, and they'll never say that. Never, ever, ever.
But will they fix it? Do you guys think they actually will come in? And I mean, that's not Walt. It doesn't look like Walt.
I will say that the illustration for the new one has better shoulders than this thing.
That's exactly right.
There is a chance, maybe a chance, that they replace the mask at Disneyland. Before or maybe after this new version, I guess.
The facial structure is wrong, though, Vash. Like, they're going to have to do something more than just the mask, I think.
Right. I mean, you're talking about some extensive work right here, maybe a head replacement. But the only way you could do it is if you rotate in Abraham Lincoln, and then you have Abraham Lincoln play exclusively for a period of time, and then that's when you start the rotation. And on that rotation,
that's well timed, Vash. That is well timed that the B-roll is playing this. You went and saw the Walt bot, Zombie Walt,
Correct.
And was the theater full?
You're going to see right here, it's about half full. Now, remember, this is very, very early morning, so a lot of people who want to see Walt are going to be doing that at the early hours. That participation or that demand is going to drop off precipitously because, as people get deeper into the park, they're not going to want to double back and go to this specific attraction.
And this is a pretty small theater, right, Vash?
It's a pretty small theater, but it's about 500 seat capacity.
Okay, so 500. So you're saying about 250 were there to see the brand new Walt animatronic. You saw it. If that's the same Walt that appears at Carousel of Progress, how do you think that's going to be received?
I don't think it's going to be received well. I know, I mean, everybody told me, hey, it looks better in person. Okay, so I went down there and actually saw it in person, and I got a front row seat for that. That's the B-roll that you're actually seeing right now.
I only wish you hadn't thrown that small child out of the seat. That was you're lucky you didn't become the same guy who grabbed the cap from at the tennis game.
Well, he had to be aggressive. That's true, but you know, he was looking fine in the second to last row there. I had to run pretty far, but I was able to see it not once but twice, just to really give it its full due right there. And to be honest, it still doesn't look like Walt. It looks a lot better, you know, in person for sure, but still does not look like Walt. So when you put, and here's the thing too, this is going to be really interesting because you're going to put Walt in the beginning of this Carousel of Progress show. Sure, that's okay. And maybe it plays better a little bit because right now, One Man Stream plays before that. So you have a lot of imagery of Walt and how he looked right before you see the robotic Walt. That's kind of what, why people have such strong reactions, I think,
that
in part,
could be
right?
good or bad because it gives you something to compare to.
Right, and then but the later audio-animatronics that you're going to see are all from the '60s. So
This thing,
I don't know how that's going to play either.
I mean, every time we go back and look at this thing, it looks more like Mr. Feeney than it does like Walt Disney. It just does.
It does. It does. It looks like everybody else but Walt, and
So,
that's
okay.
the issue right here.
Kevin, why are the influencers pretending? Because they're getting hammered online, not at the Beacon Barrel. They're getting hammered online, Kevin. Because every time, I'm glad Lou got that. Kevin, every
I saw
time
what you did there.
Kevin, every time that they ignore how badly Disney has handled this in the past, and they just, you know, hurrah, huzzah, go Disney, everything's great, they get nailed in the comments, and I'm thinking, is it really worth it, guys? Is it really worth it?
I mean, we're sane, so no. The answer is no, it's not worth it. But, you know, the Pixie Dusters can't get their pixie dust unless they behave accordingly. They're not going to tell us that the Walt 1000 is far superior to the Walt 800. It could mimic anything it touches, from blunt weapons to blades, except for Walt Disney. So we're just going to keep on keeping on, and you know they're going to do what they have to do because you know we want to pretend that influencers still wield the power that they had.
That's right. Well, Disney's pretending that game. Oh, I love that. Hey, Lauren, as I watch what's happening right now, one of the things I think might go in the favor of this is because it's in the loading and unloading part of the ride, it can only be out there for like 10 or 15 seconds for either one of those. So, I mean, you'll barely see the thing. So that might work out, eh?
Yeah, from my standpoint, the reason they're doing this is because obviously they built two before they had the first one displayed. And so they've already got the investment cost into it. They got to put it out there. Ultimately, to the average park goer, I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. They'll go through it. They'll see it. I don't think it's going to make a real lasting impression on them. I do think that the issue with the face to me looks like it's too squashed. I think that Walt's face was longer and a little narrower, and also his eyes weren't as beady. The thing that gets me about the Walt animatronic that we see is that he looks shady. You
expect those eyes to light up, swivel back and forth, and say, "By your command."
I love the idea that Lauren wouldn't even buy a used car from this thing, let alone go to its theme park.
What I think is funny is that the other day on the Lord and the Apollo show, we brought out that the day that Skynet went sentient was the day that we broadcast. And there's a part of me that thinks this would be humorous if you just had the Walt animatronic suddenly download a malevolent AI and go on a murder rampage. That feels like how Futurama would have handled it if they
5 Nights at Waltie's.
Yeah, you know, but I think that this is something that we get fixated on because we're hyper focused on Walt and the parks and the original vision. To the casual park goer, I don't think it's probably going to be that big of a deal.
Well, I'll tell you why we get fixated on here is because it's funny. I mean, it's just funny. The idea that this thing looks so bad, and you're probably right. They probably ordered 2 of them and we didn't know about it. And they're going to ship that other one to Florida.
Let us remember the track record here. When the Tiana thing opened and they said, "Oh, we're still fixing the bugs in Disneyland," and then they were all there too. When Rise of the Resistance, was it, where they had the problems with where they put the track and had to redo it? They have a history of screwing up the first iteration and copying all those screw ups into the repeated iteration, don't they?
You got it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. A bad copy of a copy is a really bad copy. Now, the thing that's really interesting here, that the other interesting thing I would say, is that they are very clear in that Disney Parks blog post that they won't be just installing Walt.
Oh, no.
They will be updating Carousel of Progress itself.
Which everybody heard that and said, yay. All right, Vash. Tell them what they win today. What are we getting to the Carousel of Progress?
Okay, so the Disney Parks blog post says this exactly. Let's go ahead and bring it up on the screen here so our viewers can see what we're reading. There are still plenty of additional details to be revealed, including what John, Sarah, and the rest of the family are up to. Disney Imagineers love this attraction, and the heart of it will stay the same while introducing the Carousel of Progress to an entirely new generation of fans.
What's the little boy's name? What's the little boy's name in the Carousel of Progress?
I don't know.
I can't remember his name. Patricia is the little girl.
Right.
I can't remember the boy's name. Whatever the boy is, he's going to be gay. He's totally going to be gay.
You gotta think, right?
Wait a minute. We have to remember, this family showed up again in Horizons, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. And
James or Jimmy.
John and Patricia are actually featured on Spaceship Earth. They have their masks. I forget which scene they're in. I think it's the medieval scene where you'll find them again, where they reuse the masks for them. But I'll tell you this: so these the voiceovers are from very famous individuals from history that they're gone, so you can't go back and get them again. So I don't know what they're going to do, Vash, in terms of how they change it. Because if you change it too much, you got to get new voice actors, and boy, that's going to be a problem. But I don't think they care. So at this point, I think they might just go ahead and redo the whole thing.
I think they might redo the whole thing, and that's the scary part, because people are saying, "Oh, well, they reference Laserdiscs in that final scene. They're just going to up it the final scene." I'm like, no, they're not. There's no way. In the middle of Carousel of Progress, you have them getting ready for like a 1776 celebration with like the whole garb and everything else. You think they're going to keep that? There's no way. There's absolutely no way that they, touch other areas of this attraction and not the ones that might be problematic for them in the modern age. And we know that Stories Matter has eyeballed this attraction for many, many years. They would love to up this attraction.
I, for one, cannot wait for the Lost Sherman Brothers script, the lyrics, found in a closet somewhere that they're going to reveal to us, where it says, "There's a great big progressive woke tomorrow. Rainbow colors coming on the way, on the way."
I think in the last scene it'll be, "Kids, come over here and meet your new mother, Sue Kim. She's from China." And then the kids will all be a mixed family. It'll be great. And by the way, we're scheduled to do a commercial for tomorrow, because like all the commercials are mixed families now. I love it. It's they're very progressive.
Look at all the other redos, though. They're safe, they're bland, they're corporatized. There is no spark of creativity there. There's nothing risky there. There's nothing memorable there. It's all just watered down slop.
I just realized how they take the sting out of it, though, isn't it? Is it Orville, the old man in the bathtub and everything?
Yeah, who's played by Mel Blanc.
They rename him Uncle Herschel. Then they've got him covered.
Hey, there's an idea. Carousel of Progress, brought to you by the Karen CEO of Cracker Barrel. That'll go over well. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for now, but don't worry. Do not fret. Not yet, for more content is still coming your way 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We hope you feel the same. Adding value to your every single day is our job here, and we take it very seriously. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is that you consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it. Stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. And folks, if you'd like to subscribe to our partner YouTube channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and some of those radio stations like Vacation Radio, well, we certainly would appreciate it. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time and being invited into your day, folks, we go on our way saying this: keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water! Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.